Everybody's a snitch. This is something I know because I've been through the system. I had a high caliber lawyer, and he was just running everything down to me.
Would be saying, how can they support the channel? Chiso by Chiso. I've got tops, got hoodies, I've got the Dragon Ball Z tees, like the Pain and Full Star tees. You lot could support, buy some of the merch. I'll be able to churn out more content. This one I'm just waiting by myself for the moment, and I'll bring out more colors. Please support.
There's this epidemic where people are just taking watches, jewels, because they're so hard to come by, and obviously everyone wants to live lit, everyone wants to live, people don't want to work for shit. So even the guy got killed the other day, I heard they didn't even ask him for his watch.
See, that's that question I always ask.
They just stabbed him straight away, bang, and then that was it.
A lot of dudes, when you speak to them, it's like, yeah, I'm ready to take the off if the situation calls for it. Yeah. But if you're not even asking,
bro, they just stabbed him. They literally just stabbed him.
Took the watch, and now it's gone from robbery to M charge.
Like even recently, like with Gay Rule, we were talking about when we come out of parties, we never, if we all got our watches on, we don't come out by ourselves. We'll come out like 5, 6 of us at the same time. And it's like strategy now. You have to park your cars next to each other.
Facing forward.
Facing forward. So I never, if I go to certain parties, I never park on reverse.
Okay.
My car's always,
why is that?
It's always tactical. I don't know, it's a habit I picked from young, from where I grew up in Brixton, where my car, the way I park it is, there's always I could always just get out quickly.
There's
never no.
I back in. I don't care.
I always back in.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
And I'm never sitting back to the door. You know what I'm saying? Put me in a wall, in a corner, you know what I'm saying? It's not comfortable. I won't be at ease, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy, one of my friends in New York years ago, he got killed over his watch the same way. So he's come out of a club now, and he's got in his car, and the person who killed him went to school with him. He literally pulled up on the window and shot through.
For the watch?
What kind of watch was it?
It was a Rolex.
But what was it?
I think it was a, what do you have? Yeah. It wasn't a Yacht Master, it was a same Sky Dweller. Yeah, it was a Dweller.
Just for the watch?
Yeah. Wow. And this is years ago. This is before the inflation.
Wow.
The guy got caught, right?
Yeah.
This is crazy, like, you're not gonna get away with it. No. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day when I was growing up, people, like, we would walk around people who killed our friends. Yeah. People used to get away with murder back in the day. Yeah. But times are so different. It's a camera everywhere. There's sensors in neighborhoods, especially like heavily populated Black and Latino neighborhoods. A gunshot go off, it alerts, and they're coming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even if a camera don't catch it, right? It's so easy, and everybody's a snitch. This is something I know because I've been through the system, and I had a high caliber lawyer, and he was just running everything down to me. You know what I'm saying? And the toughest of the toughest dudes, when they facing 30 years, they're like, what you want me to do? And they're back out on the street.
Yeah.
They're back out on the street.
Yeah.
They're still doing crimes, you know what I'm saying? But they're protected. This is something I know, because I know a guy like that.
Casanova said the same thing on the Breakfast Club. This is like years ago. He mentioned, it was like, oh, when they put that time in front of you, people are gonna start talking. So like he said that, and recently someone pulled it up, the video, and they were like, it's surprising that he's facing the same time, but he's just riding it.
Well, apparently he just took a plea. Yeah. So we'll see what kind of time he got, if he's keeping it stand up.
They said he took a plea because other people in
the camp
started
talking.
So his lawyer had to say to him, boy, people are talking already. Yeah. So you need to just
decide,
lock yourself up. Because remember, sometimes if there's 4 of us and I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to protect you lot. But then you lot start talking, it's like, who am I protecting? What's the point of this anymore?
I know this don't sound smart, but if we were all doing a crime, we all get caught. And let's say I have the least involvement, and they pressuring me. Bro, just tell us whatever. I'm not saying nothing. Even if y'all rolled on me, even if I knew y'all rolled on me. Because I believe in, like, it's gonna sound cheesy or whatever, but this is where I believe in, like, the universe, and I believe in things being fair, and I believe in karma and all of that stuff, right? Things happen for a reason. Listen, I don't think things happen for a reason. Things happen because of our decisions. You know what I'm saying? If I decide to take an honorable route, even if we're doing crimes, I'm gonna still be honorable. My outcome will still be fine. It may not look like it in the moment, but it will. Case in point, when I was dealing with my situation, and this is probably the last time I ever put this out into the world, talk about my past life, because I don't want to manifest that, right? But when I was dealing with my situation, I stood up each which way that you could stand up, you know what I'm saying? And I made my situation worse by going on the run for 7 years, right? And when they came and got me, it was scary. Bond went from 100 grand to $500,000. Like everything it's called aggravated, right? It's gonna be worse. I got nothing. And you know who was speaking on my behalf? Police, cops. So in the court in America, like when you get sentenced, you have the defendant and his family over here, and the state, cops and it was my family and cops, the weirdest shit ever.
How come?
Because they f with me. There's people I actually developed relationships with during, I call it my grace period, when I was free but on a run. Because nobody knew that. You didn't know that. Nobody knew that. You know what I'm saying? But I was being a good dude, doing good things. But I was like, but when I was in the streets too, I did good business with people. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't robbing nobody, none of that. All of my actions were good. Even though it was illegal, it ain't that bad in my opinion, because the shit that was illegal then is legal now. You know what I'm saying? So I was just giving people what they wanted, and they're paying me for it. You know what I'm saying? So when I had to face, look, I faced out. They got me. Let's go. Let's ride it out. You know what I'm saying? And the judge was like, "You're not a criminal. Get out of my court." Wow. But I feel like that was because it wasn't because it was meant or it was written, or it was because of the decisions that I made. You know what I'm saying? So if I listen, I was up here. I had more money than I can count. Right? I lost everything like that. Had a few grand, and then I stretched it out. I moved away out the country for a minute, got my mind right, got more in touch with my spirituality when I was in Dubai, because I'm praying every day, multiple times a day, you know what I'm saying? And I'm alone, I'm isolated. People gotta understand, like, you get so much growth in isolation. When you're in isolation and you got problems, it's like, it's the worst feeling ever. I ain't got nobody to lean on, nobody to talk to. But it was the best thing, because when you do have people, you're not dealing with your shit. You're reminiscing, you're talking, you're being distracted. But me in isolation, man, I grew so much. So I came back and started rebuilding my life. Now, I always tell people this, something my father told me, he said, "Son, we're people of character, and character, you don't really develop that in good times. That's easy." He said, "You develop it when the chips is down. You lose your job, you lose your girl, whatever, because now you gotta be strong and make the right decisions when it's hard to. When you ain't got no money, it's hard to get, when you're used to having money and you ain't got money." And for me, I had to go work and make $3 grand a month. That's why I was making a Gold's Gym, $3,000 a month, working my ass off, right? I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Raggedy car, no crib at first, you know what I'm saying? I get a haircut, shower at the gym. Nobody knew I was homeless. You feel me? But I was like, fuck it, I gotta do what I gotta do. But the default setting is go pull a lick, come back up. So it was my decisions that articulated my outcome. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, like how you said a second ago, everyone is a snitch now. And recently there was a clip that went viral in London where a crazy woman has got into an argument with kids, school kids, and the school girls apparently were throwing water, but where the clip starts was she's arguing with the school kids, she pushes the schoolboy, and then out of nowhere he pulls out a big knife and he starts stabbing her.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Where was this?
This was in South Norwood. And
oh, these guys.
and literally, the other kids are filming and they're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And literally, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, this kid is crazy because it's bright like this daylight.
Yeah.
You're stabbing someone.
Yeah.
He's in year 10, so he's a 14, 15-year-old kid. You're stabbing someone day life, that's attempted murder, one.
Yeah.
But now,
well,
there's 100
she
witnesses
survived,
with their phones out. You know what I mean?
Multiple, yeah. Okay.
So, like, now in this day and age, like Mike talking about the sensors going off, there's more cameras than people, because look, I've got 2 phones. You get what I'm saying? That's 2 cameras. And I've got a camera as well.
Even in the UK, as a state, the CCTV is heavy. I think
Oh, big time. I think we might have the highest.
I think China's got the most.
China's got the most. Yeah, that's what I hear. China's got the most.
But in the UK, CCTV is everywhere. So I think the murder conviction rate is something like 90-something%, 97 or 96%. Because kind of like if even the woman who got murdered, Sarah Everett, the other day, the reason they found the killer was because the car went past the bus camera. So when they saw the license plate, they worked backwards and was like, okay, where did they start going back to junction? So people think they can get away with stuff, but now it's got to a point where, nah, bro, you're not getting away with it. Because back in the day, as you said, even when
but the thing is, what you're saying, I don't think people think they're going to get away with it. These guys aren't thinking at all. That guy, the kid wasn't thinking when he
wasn't
slashing.
thinking at all, right.
No one's thinking.
Listen, people get away with murder, but it's not some heated in the moment, emotional something. You know what I'm saying? It's thought out. And they remove themselves 4 or 5 times over and have it done. You know what I'm saying? So, but you don't hear about those stories. You know what I'm saying?
Because they don't get caught.
They don't get caught, and they don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean? But listen, I remember, man, that dude killed the homie. We were young, we can't do nothing, and we have to walk around this guy. It's like the cops don't care. They didn't. You know what I'm saying? But there was no even idea of cameras or camera phones. This is like 14, 15.
But Tim, that's even like us in South, like in school. There's people you knew that were killers, or people you knew that had done stuff, but it's just hearsay, as in like everyone will know that, oh, you'll hear something happen, someone got shot in a rave, someone got stabbed, and we know who done it. It's a name, And it's a name, you'll know, so-and-so done this, but
that's where it ends.
That's where it ends.
Remember the area I grew up in was probably one of the most notorious in South. So I remember like even going to school, like after our school was probably one of the baddest schools in the areas. So we might have madness with other schools. They gave, within a 2-mile radius of our school, they gave other school a head start to go home.
Oh, serious?
So they used to make us close later so that everyone could go home. And I remember like my mates always saying to me, how come you're not scared when these other schools come around and et cetera, et cetera. I was like in my head, if only you knew, there was 3 guys in my year group. We're 13, 14. There's 3 guys who had guns. So I knew if something kicked off, all they would do is just flash it and everyone would scatter. So people was like, how come you were never scared? I was just like, because I knew there was always people with ammunition early. And because remember, back then there wasn't no cameras. So people had no clue what my friends at the time were walking around with. So we might
to school,
we might be outnumbered by other people, and these guys would just be like, and it's sad because one of them, he's like one of my good friends now. He's been in jail for like a few years, and he came out of jail years ago, and the reason why he ended up in jail was something stupid. Imagine he's like, well, no one's got a rep. One of his friends was like, they need something, and he was like, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not involved because I've come out. But he's like, you know what? As a favor, I'll put the connect.
Yeah.
He's done that one off. It's like Blow. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like remember the film Blow? He just put the connect and.
It's called conspiracy.
That's it.
Yeah, they don't have to prove you did anything. Yeah.
Then my other friend, the other one who, he used to come to school with a gun when he was in year 9. I see him all the time in Brixton now, and he's lost his mind. He stays on the same corner every time, and sometimes I pull up on him and I'm talking to him. I'm just like, I wish I could help you, bro, but it's.
But you know the maddest thing is what you're saying is sometimes when I speak to people, even girls, and we speak about how we grew up, bro, it was so negative. But to us, it was normal. But some of us are living with PTSD. Like we don't even know what we're living with.
But me and Mike spoke about this. The PTSD for me. I'm glad it's there because it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me hyper aware of every situation. Because remember, we couldn't go to school and just be sitting on the bus thinking about, I wonder what school's gonna be like today. You're sat like you're looking over the side of the bus.
Who's coming the bus?
You're clocking the behaviour of every person that gets on that bus and how they're moving.
But I hear what you're saying. But what I'm saying is although we're looking at it as a benefit, that's not normal, bro. Because really and truly, man should be able to like
It is normal though. Y'all grew up in that.
No, I hear it's normal.
And think about it. Y'all, we live worlds apart, and it was normal where I was at. You know what I'm saying? And my cousins. And so here's the thing. This is how I look at life, bro. Everything is all good. It's all good, right? Because this is like most people's lives kind of suck. It is what it is. People whose lives don't suck, they're doing things to make it not suck. You know what I'm saying? Think about all the people who grew up where y'all grew up. Think about how many didn't make it out. It's not like y'all special. Y'all just chose to do different things. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always say, like, our destiny is our decisions. You know what
And you know what? But I say this as well. It's not even just decisions. There's a lot of luck in it, man. A lot of luck in it. There's situations that we made it through just pure luck, man. That could have gone left.
Some days you turn left.
Yeah.
And if you had turned right, you could have been in jail. Or you could have got stabbed or something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the other day when I was talking about how me and Sim, before we met each other, how just one moment could have made us lifelong enemies. Where I've seen him wearing the Averex jacket in the middle of summer,
And he's
I've
with his
walked
people.
past with my people, and I'm saying, "Who's that prick? Look at that!" And I've carried on walking.
But he could have talked to me, and I was heated.
He was heated.
I was
and
heated. I'm ready. I'm ready for anyone. I was looking for someone.
So he could have switched on me. We could have rushed him, and a war starts. But fast forward 10 years later, we see each other. You know what I mean? And we become mad close. So it's crazy how one moment could change everything, and it goes
like
back
that day, nothing happened. Basically, it was People's Day. You know People's Day, and you know that's ghetto boys galore. That's and obviously the incident had just happened like maybe the Friday. So it's People's Day Saturday. I was living in North then, so I've come down and I just want someone, because obviously pretty much I got rushed. So I want payback. I want someone to try it. Like I'm ready for someone. Let's do something. And then like luckily nothing. Like no one.
That's what I'm saying. But even that day, for example, imagine someone did come, you hit them, pow. Someone knocks their head. This Simeon's destiny's changed. Because of that one day.
because of that one day.
Completely.
Do you know what's crazy though? Have you realized every time there was events like that, something always happened? Yeah.
But sometimes it was decisions as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a decision. I think I told you. I don't told you guys, but Mike knows the story about when someone pulled a gun on me in the gym. And
I remember that. I remember you telling me that.
I told you, okay. Well, after that situation, I chose to let it die there. Like not to retaliate, because life was starting to get really good. Business was picking up. The social stuff was picking up, and I just said, nah. I'm not chasing it. I'm not chasing
it.
it.
Your people were like, we're gonna sort it. And I remember Sims.
Yeah, there's loads of people ready to sort it.
Sims like, you know what? I'm just not. I can't really be bothered. You know, there's no point.
I was like, things are going good. Like there's two ways that's going. You know, and I don't want it either.
And the thing is, if you went the other way now, we won't be here today.
You'd just be a story. You'd be a story. Like, that guy, he could have. You know what's crazy? He could have.
Remember
Well, you know what's crazy? I've got like a similar story. Remember when I told you when we've gone country show in Brixton, and the guys from my area, like, I messed with the older bunch, but I didn't mess with the ones around my age or slightly lower. And they've tried to. So one of my friends had moved from Canada back to the area, so he grew up as a little kid in the area. Then his dad took him to Canada and then came back. So they've tried to rob him, and I've stepped in because he was young. But I was only a couple of years old. I was only 17. So I've stepped in and made it my business now. Then everyone's surrounding me. Then my boy is mad, stubborn as hell. So they've stepped to him and he's picked up one of them, headbutted him. So now we're fighting 3 against 30. The girls from our area surrounded us, and I've come out clapping. I was like, well done, smiling. And I spat out and I had a little blood, and I was like, oh, well done. I was like, loads of you to rush us and I'm not hurt. The girls are surrounded, cussing them. The reason why we've got into that madness as well is because when they were trying to rob, they've shown in a JD bag. JD Sports is like a sports store. So they've shown sawn off shotgun.
Okay.
But they were expecting us to kind of back down in it. But I had the mentality then was like, whatever happens now, I can't control it. If I back down, it might get worse. So I remember like after that incident happened now, I made phone calls to Peckham boys that I knew. And one of my mates at the time, I don't even want to say his name on camera, but he had a reputation and he was reckless. So I phoned him and told him what's happened. he started naming guns under the sun that I've never heard of. He's like, bro, I don't like them boys. Whatever you want, come get that. So I'm on my way. Like I've left my boys, I've gone around the corner now. A couple of the younger ones, let's go back. I was like, no, don't worry about it. Leave it. So everyone doesn't know I'm still heated. I've gone home, changed, all black Nike. Remember the all black tracksuits, the baggy ones that we had?
Component tracksuits.
Yeah, the hoodie, everything. This is the middle of the summer. Put on my Nike Golf Club.
The gloves.
Yeah. Emptied out my duffel bag with all my basketball stuff, because back then everyone knew me as a hooper. Emptied it all out. I'm walking towards the bus stop now. Then I see one of my older boys pulled up. He's like, no, I heard what happened, blah, 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 come. So one of the main people who started the beef now, he lives down the road in Angel Town now. So, no, he didn't even live there, but that's where he hung. So my boys phoned him now, because he was like a PE teacher, basketball teacher in his school. So he's phoned him, he's come out now, hopping out. Then he was like, something happened earlier. Then I found out that my man that I was beefing with is good friends with my older cousins, because I went to school with these older cousins, and one of them was a year above me and used to look after me when I was a freshie. So now I'm in the car, I'm hearing him talking and blah, blah, blah. So I've jumped out and he's frozen. Then my boy was like, what if both of you fight one-on-one now? He's like, no, I'm not really down for that, this, that. So I've said to him, I said, you're lucky, because after this has happened, I know where you live. I've told him exactly where he lives. And he was like shocked. So I was like, I made, like back in the day, everyone who kind of had like a reputation for being a troublemaker, I kind of made it my thing to know exactly where they lived. So in case something happens, I can roll up on you quietly and no one will know.